Ramo Ramo Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare
Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्दे श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी आष्टातदेशतारिणे वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, very happy to be here at Sham Siddharpu's house. For the first time, we are having program at Prabhuji's house along with Prabhuji's family, Sarmishta, Gaur Priya Mataji, and they are two wonderful children. So, tomorrow is Nirjal Ekadashi. So, as the preparation for Nirjal Ekadashi, because generally on Nirjal Ekadashi, devotees try to chant more rounds. So in preparation for that, we will discuss from Harinam Chintamani. And we are discussing today the 11th chapter of this book, which is called Equating Chanting with Pious Activities. So in these chapters, we have been seeing Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives the list of various offenses. So each of these chapters relate to one particular offense. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains in detail what that offense is and what is the way in which we can overcome that particular offense. So the 11th chapter is one of the offense, and this offense is equating chanting with pious activities. Anya Shubha Karmera Sahita Nameka Tulya Gyan. So if you compare that, chanting is equal to other pious activities like giving charity. If you feel that chanting is equal to that, that is an offense. Because chanting is far, far superior to this. It is not equal to pious activity. It is something divine. So we will see what Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains here. Dharma vrata tyaga hutadi sarva shubha kriya samya api pramadha. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities or karma kanda. So if you think that chanting is equal to other karma kandiya activities, so it is an offense. Jaya Jaya Gaura Chandra Nama Avatar Jaya Jaya Harinama Sarva Tattvasar. Glory, glory to the holy names of Lord Chaitanya, which have now descended to this world. Glory to the holy names of Lord Krishna, which are the highest of all spiritual truths. So he's saying glory to the name of Lord Chaitanya, who is descended in the form of his holy names. So Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. So in Kali Yuga, the Lord descends in the form of his holy name. And then he says, Harinama Sarva Tattva Sar. So this Harinam is the essence of all truths. This is the essence. Haridas Bale Prabhu Kara Avadan Anya Shubha Karma Nahe Namera Saman. Haridas Thakur said, "O Lord, please listen carefully." So generally in the Gita, when Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita, so Krishna is telling Arjuna, "My dear Arjuna, listen carefully." So now here Haridas Thakur is telling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "Please listen attentively as I explain the next offense. Other pious deeds are not equal to the holy name. Anya Shubha Karma Nahe Namera Sama." You can't equate both. So what is the nature of the holy name? Namera Swarupa. तुमित चिन्मय सूर्य तुम्हारा स्वरूप संपूर्ण चिन्मय यही तत्व अपरूप. O Lord, you are like the spiritual sun. Tumita chinmay surya. So we have this material sun, but Krishna is the spiritual sun. Chinmay surya. Tumara swarupa. So that is the nature of the Lord. Just like the verse in the scripture says, Nama Chintamani Krishnas. The name of Krishna is Chintamani, spiritual. Sampurna Chinmayi Tattva Rupa, Aparupa. You are perfectly spiritual. Your nature is wonderful. So the Lord's holy name is completely spiritual. So how can the names of Krishna be equal to material pious activities? There is no connection. Sarvatra Chinmay Tava Shri Vigrahaya Nama Dama Leela Tava Sampurna Chinmay. So it is just not that the holy name is spiritual, even the Lord's form is spiritual. Your form is completely spiritual in every way. So we may see the deity forms of the Lord, but we need to understand that these deities are not apparently made of material elements, but those who have eyes can see that they are spiritual. So the form of the Lord is spiritual. The Lord's holy name, the Lord's abode, the Lord's pastimes are all spiritual. So then he continues, तव मुख्य नाम सब तोमाते अभिन्न जड़िया वस्तुर नाम वस्तु हईते भिन्न. So he says your primary names are not in any way different from you. तव मुख्य नाम तव तोमाते अभिन्न. So we have discussed this principle before. Primary names and secondary names. So what are primary names? Primary names are names related to Krishna directly, related to his pastimes, related to his devotees, Yashoda Nandan, Devaki Nandan. And what are secondary names? Secondary names are related to the material aspects of God, just like we say Ishwara, right? Paramatma. So these are secondary names, what the Lord does in the material world. So he says here, what does he say? The primary names are not different from you. The holy name is not material. Jadiya Vastura Nama Vastu Haite Binna. Material things and the name are two different aspects. So even though the name of Krishna may appear to be material sound, but it is not material sound. It is actually spiritual sound. Bhakta Mukhe Aise Naam Golo ke Haite Atma Haite Deha Vyapi Nache Jiva Dite. Descending from the world of Goloka, your holy name enters your devotee's mouth. So it enters, this holy name actually descends from the spiritual world and it comes from the mouth of the devotees. And your holy name enters the spirit soul, fills the material body, and dances on the tongue and in other parts of the body also. So this is how the holy name descends. It descends on the spiritual world and it descends in the body of a particular devotee. E Gyani Nama Laile Haya Tavan Gram. This is the truth about your holy name. Anyone who thinks your holy name is material will be burned by many sufferings. So this is a big offense when someone considers the holy name of Krishna to be material sound. So therefore he explains this is the truth of the holy name. So then he continues the next section. Lord Krishna's feet are the goal of life. People with different qualifications attain them by different means. So we were discussing this point yesterday also. Srila Prabhupada explains in Bhagavad Gita in so many places that what is the goal of life? The goal of life is to attain Krishna's lotus feet. Just like Sunday's Chidadayi Utsav. So Raghunath Das Goswami had so much wealth in his house, practically a billionaire, trillionaire by today's standards. But still he was not attached to anything. The only thing he wanted to attain was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's holy feet. So therefore he says, Krishna Prapti. So what is our goal in life? To attain Krishna. Upeya Adhikara Bedi Upaya Bahuvida. So that is the goal, and different people with different qualifications attain them by different means. So what are the different kinds of people and what are different adhikar? He is explaining here. Tomara paite shastra upaya kahila adhikara bhede taha nana vidahaila. O Lord, the scriptures describe different ways to attain you. The different ways exist because people are qualified in different ways. So the scriptures is not just one-sided. It has many options. There are many entry-level points. So depending on the qualifications of different people, there are different ways to attain you. So there is a footnote here that Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions. Anyone who thinks Lord Krishna's holy name is made of Maya, the dull and inert material energy, will suffer in hell for a long time. So therefore, we need to understand and educate others about the holy name of Krishna. So anyone who thinks that the holy name is Jada of this world, he will suffer in hell eternally. Right? So the holy name is Chinmay. It is spiritual. In fact, Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his other book, he explains that there are only two spiritual entities in this world. And I think it's in the same book in the beginning. the first or the second chapter, Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions there are two spiritual entities in this world. One is the Atma, all of us, and the holy name of Krishna. Rest, everything in this world is material. So therefore he says, anyone who considers the holy name to be material will suffer in hell. If one sees the face of such a person, one must immediately remember Lord Vishnu and bathe still wearing one's clothes. We have seen this before also. So if you see anyone who is blaspheming Krishna or blaspheming the Lord, what one should do? Immediately one should take bath in Ganga. So today is also actually Ganga Puja, very auspicious day. So some devotees say that today is the appearance of Ganga Devi also. So this is the atonement. So here he explains there are in scriptures there are different ways to attain you depending on different qualifications of people. So there's a footnote here. People possess different levels of qualification to attain Lord Krishna. And what are the different levels of qualification? The primary levels are karma, jnana and bhakti. This the scriptures say. So karma adhikar, jnana adhikar, bhakti adhikar. So these are three different qualifications. One group is the karmis. They are very materialistic. Their heart should be purified. So the first category of people are karmis, materialistic people who do even yajna but for material benefits. This is called karma kanda. You are doing yajna based on Vedic scriptures, but still what you want is not spiritual benefit but material benefit. That's what you want. So such people are materialistic people. They are very materialistic. And the scriptures say such people need purification. Another group is the monist jnanis. So the first group of people want to enjoy in this world through a scriptural way, through a proper Vedic channel, but they want to enjoy in this world. So these are materialistic people. The second category people are jnanis who want to merge into Brahma Jyoti. They are very attached to an illusion. Pure devotional service should be preached to every spirit soul. So such people, those who want to merge into Brahma Jyoti, in one sense it's an illusion, right? They are fooling themselves. That is why Srila Prabhupada would say, people who are enjoying, they are committing suicide materially. But people who want to merge into Brahma Jyoti, that is actually a spiritual suicide. Spiritually, you're losing the opportunity. So these are three categories of people. Those who have faith in karma, karma kand, those who have faith in jnana, and those who have faith in bhakti. So then he continues, the nature of karma and other material pious deeds and the spiritual goal. So now he has explained three categories of adhikar, karma, jnana and bhakti. So he explains what is the nature of karma. Right? Karmera swarupa. Jada buddhi jana jada द्रव्य कलाश्रये तुम्हारा साधना करे शमेर समानेर भये. O Lord, material minded people who take shelter of material things and material situations take to your worship out of fear. So you'll find a lot of people in this category who take shelter of God, but why do they take shelter? Because they are fearful. They do it out of fear. If we don't do it, we will suffer in hell, So because of that, they do it. Tumita abhaya prada advitya hari tumara charana matra bhavar nane tari. O Lord Krishna, no one is like you. Your feet grant fearlessness. Simply by taking shelter of your feet, people can cross over the ocean of nations. So people who want to just take shelter of God to get rid of their fear of material existence. So the Lord says, okay, take shelter of me. I will give you freedom from fear. Sei pade labe jata upaya srajila jada bhava shraye saba jadiya haila. To attain your feet, the material minded people have invented many material means. So people who want to attain the shelter of God because they want to get freedom from material existence or freedom from hell or whatever it is, they have invented various material means. And what are the various material means? He explains here. Ishta purta ara yagyadika punya karma snana homa dana yoga varnashrama dharma tirtha yatra vrata Pitru karma dhyana jnana, Deva karma tapa prayaschittadi vidhan. Ishtapurta. So Ishtapurta means people worship particular demigods or people worship Krishna also to fulfill their desires. Like you find a lot of people like this, expressing their desire to God. Or yagya, they do yagya. Pious deeds, punya karma, ritual bathing, ritualistic bathing, homa, charity, yoga, varnashram. They go to tirth yatras, they take vows, they worship the pitas, the pitris. They do meditation, study, worship demigods, austerities, atonement are among the activities they perform. So all these activities, they are not counted in spiritual activity. They are still counted in material activity. Because why you are doing all this? For material benefits. Sakale jadiya dravya kariya ashray upaye swarupe sada shubha karma hai. Taking shelter of these material pious deeds, they try to attain their goal. So all these activities here that is explained, yajna, punya karma, snana, homa, dana, yoga, varnashram, even tirth yatra, vrata, dhyana, study, swadhyaya, worshipping demigods, austerities, these are all, they come under the category of material pious activity. Chanting doesn't fall under this category. Upaya dhariya paya upeya charame anitya upaya chade siddha samagaming. However, by these means, they attain only temporary benefits, temporary results. They have turned away from true perfection. So people perform all these things, just like even this Chardham Yatra. I mean, people undergo great austerities for these yatras. But actually, people undergo austerities, but they don't have a very high goal. They want material benefits. They want some desire to be fulfilled, right? Or they want at max freedom from misery, right? That's all they want, or freedom from sin. So they go with a very selfish motive, still thinking about themselves. So these are good. These are definitely pious activities, but they are not completely spiritual. They are not completely pure. So such people, they will attain temporary results, but they will not attain the highest perfection. So there's a footnote here. At the time when one attains the perfection of devotional service, material karma and other non-devotional activities spontaneously flee far away. So what is the highest perfection? Attaining bhakti. That is the highest perfection. That is the highest siddhi, attaining bhakti. So when one attains pure bhakti, one is not attached to so-called karma. Therefore, the definition of bhakti is anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. One should be free from jnana also. He'll be explaining what is jnana later. So one should be free from jnana and from karma. So one should not do spiritual life just to get rid of sins, just to have a good life, a happy life. One should not practice spiritual life. So we are practicing spiritual life to attain pure bhakti to Krishna. Purnananda labhaya sarva siddhi sar jiver upaye taha shuna sarat sar. Now please hear about the best of all goals. That goal brings perfection, that brings spiritual bliss. So he has explained that all these material goals, material karma kand, will give you temporary benefit. But what is the highest goal that is explaining here? Shubha karma upay, auspicious pious deeds as the way to attain the goal of life. So he continues, Jada dravya kalahaya niranandamaya kaushale jivere taha karma siddhi haya. Material things and material situations have no spiritual bliss. Still, they may be auspicious for the conditioned soul, for they may gradually lead him to perfection. So it's not that all these things, like someone who's performing pious deeds, you encourage him, because gradually it will lead to perfection. Slowly it will lead to purification of heart, right? So, but at this point, because it's still not spiritual, it is not considered to be the highest perfection. It is not completely blissful. So there's a footnote here. The conditioned souls have no power to renounce ordinary material activities. All their thoughts and deeds are mixed with material things. A person who uses material pious activities to find pure devotional service, which is beyond the touch of matter, is expert. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains here the conditioned soul generally he has no power to renounce material things. Only when he comes in association of a pure devotee, then only his faith changes. He will develop faith in pure devotional service. But people who are doing it, it's fine. Gradually, they are progressing on the path of perfection. Therefore, in the Vedas, you have all the three sections. You have Karma Kand also, you have Jnana Kand also, and then Bhakti also. Because wherever people inclination is, at least they will gradually get purified. अतएव शुभ कर्म सकल उपाय उपेय चरम सिद्धि प्रेमा रूपे भाय. Therefore, auspicious pious deeds may be a mean to attain the final perfection, that is pure love for Krishna. So, pious deeds may be just a means for people who are not performing bhakti. Okay, at least you're doing pious deeds. Gradually, you will reach that goal. But for devotees who are performing bhakti, for them, the goal also is bhakti to Krishna, holy name, and the means also is the holy names. We don't have to adopt another means. Just like generally, the scriptures explain at the end of one's life, before one dies, one should perform prayaschitta. This is a general rule, right? Because in our life, we may have done so many sins. So, at least towards the end of your life, you should do prayaschitta. You should do atonement. But for devotees, they need not do separate atonement. Why? Because chanting is sufficient. Chanting only is sufficient. We don't have to do any other separate atonement. Because for us, the means and end is the same. So then he continues, that means brings a delay in attaining perfection. So definitely karma kand or pious deeds, punya karya, it may definitely lead to Krishna prem and bhakti, but it may take time. It may take lifetimes also. Just like in the Gita, Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanamam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Even for Jnanis, what to speak of Karmis, even for Jnanis, it may take lifetime. They may ultimately reach the conclusion that Bhakti is the highest, but it may take a long time. So therefore, he says here, there is delay in attaining perfection. So in Kali Yuga, when life is short, if you want fast perfection, then the lift of bhakti. Otherwise, the other processes will take a long time. Sarva Shubhakrame Siddhi Vilambe Udaya Upe Upaya Vyavadhana Hetu Hoya. When pious deeds are employed, the attainment of perfection is delayed. That is because the distance that stands between the means and the goal. So when you go through the channel of pious deeds, so what is he explaining here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur? He is explaining that different people choose different ways to attain God. Okay? So some may choose karma, some may choose jnana, some may choose bhakti. So those who choose karma, doing good activities, they may attain God, but it may take a long time. It may take lifetimes till they attain, because the distance between the goal and the means is very long. There's a footnote here. The goal is pure love for Krishna, Krishna Prem. The means described as material pious activities. A considerable distance separates this means and goal. So Karma Kand is one level, Krishna Prem is another level. Very, very far. You will take a long time. So then he explains, why is the holy name the true means to when one strives for perfection? So the Karma Kand process might take time, but why is it explained that the holy name is the fastest mean? Sadhana kale Harinama upaya ki rupe hayyachen. Harinama ye jagate dile kripa kari siddhi labe shishta jiva laibe ke vari. O Lord, you mercifully give the world the holy name of Lord Krishna. Intelligent souls will chant the holy name to attain perfection. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, my dear Lord, you have mercifully given the holy name to the conditioned souls. And those who are intelligent, they will chant the holy names. So therefore the Bhagavatam verse says, Krishna Varnam Tisa Krishnam Sangopangarsa Parshadam Yagye Sankirtana Praye Yajanti Sumedasa. Those who are intelligent will participate in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. So similarly, Haridas Thakur is explaining here, only the intelligent people will chant the holy name. Those who are not intelligent will waste their time in other things, in demigod worship, in this, that, so many other things. But the intelligent person will focus on the holy name. So that's how their faith is invested. Upaya haile nama shastrera sammat anya shubha karma madhye haila ganita. The holy name is the primary way to attain perfection. That is the conclusion of scriptures. Other pious deeds are counted as secondary ways to attain perfection. So the primary way, the most important way to attain perfection is the holy name, Harinam Sankirtan. Pious deeds may give you perfection, but it is secondary. It is not Mukhya path. It is not the main path. It is Gona path. It is the secondary path. Sarveshwara Vishnu Jain Brahma Shiva Sane Devata Lakshane Ganye Haila Tribhuvane. They are primary and secondary in the same way as Lord Vishnu is the primary controller of everything in the three worlds, and demigods Brahma and Shiva are secondary controllers after him. So he gives an example. What is the difference between primary and secondary? Just like Vishnu is the primary controller, and Shiva, Brahma, they are also Ishwar, they are also controller, but they are secondary. So therefore, the primary creation happens with Vishnu. The secondary creation happens with Brahma. Similarly, the primary means of attaining God is chanting, and secondary means is pious deeds. Nama Shuddha Sattva Mayavadi Aparad Krame Anya Shubha Karmera Sahita Name Ke Ekai Mane Karena. The holy name is made of spiritual goodness. The Mayavadis offenselessly think that the holy name is like other pious activities. So this is an offense which the Mayavadis do. The Mayavadis think chanting and other pious activities are same. They are equal. But actually this is an offense. So just like we saw, one of the offense is equating the name of Vishnu to the names of demigods. So you may say, if you chant Vishnu's name, Krishna's name, or you chant Kali's name, Durga's name, everything is same. No, everything is not same. So the Mayavadi's principle is they consider everything to be same. Everything is same. So this is this pastime in Lord Chaitanya's Leela. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was a child as Nimai Pandit, his father didn't send him to school. Why? Because his elder brother, he had an elder brother called Vishwarup. And Vishwarup took sannyas. He studied scriptures and he took sannyas. So his father thought if he also studies, he will also take sannyas. So he told his son, no going to school. So one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he did, he started to eat mud. So his mother told him, why you are eating mud? I made very good sweets for you. Eat sweet, But he was eating mud. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what is the difference? Your sweet, milk sweet, comes from cow. Cow eats grass. Grass is coming from mud. So I'm eating mud directly. What is the problem? So Sachimata said, no, this is not correct logic. If you eat mud, you will get sick. But if you eat this sweet, you will become healthy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told his mother, you're not sending me to school. From where I will learn all these things? And then, mother had discussion with father and they agreed. Let him go to school from tomorrow. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was teaching this philosophy. If everything is same, then eat mud only, no? So for Mayavadis feel everything is same. So if everything is same, why do you want prasad? Eat mud only, be happy. Everything is coming from mud. Everything is same. So everything is same as a foolish formula. So they consider all demigods. Vishnu also is God. Shiva is also God. Brahma is also God. Ganesh also. Everyone is same. We will not offend everyone. Keep everyone on same level. Right? So this is an offense. So similarly, Mayavadis feel chanting is also same. Dan karma is also same. Karma kand is also same. Everything is same. But this is a offense. So therefore he continues here. Namera swarup hai shuddha sattva maya Jada Gandha Shuddha Name Kabunai Raya. The holy name is made of spiritual goodness. It is untainted by matter. Other pious activities are material. There is a tinge of matter. There may be some aspect of spirituality, but there is a tinge of material also. But spiritual is, holy name is completely spiritual. Namera Swarupa Hoya Shuddha Sattvamaya. Completely spiritual. It is not goodness. Other activities are goodness, Sattvagun. But the holy name is Shuddha Sattvamaya. Completely spiritual. जड़ी भूत जीव नामे जड़ भाव दाने अन्य शुभ कर्म सह एक करी माने. Souls who tend to think in material terms assume the chanting of the holy name is a material pious deed. So those who have material consciousness will think chanting and material punya is same. That means you don't have spiritual consciousness. That means you're not educated. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this pastime, na, he was telling mud and sweet is same. That means you are not educated spiritually. That's why you're speaking like this. So if you are educated spiritually, you will not speak like this. So someone who has spiritual education, spiritual qualifications, doesn't have material qualifications, he will not say that the holy name is same as chanting. Mayavad haite ei nama parad yahara duratmya sada hoya bhakti bad. From the Mayavad philosophy, this offense to the holy name has come. So all the offenses basically stem from Mayavad philosophy only. Considering Vishnu same as demigods, stemming from Mayavad philosophy, right? This offense, considering holy name equal to pious deed coming from Mayavad philosophy, right? Considering the holy name, the glories of holy name to be exaggeration, all these offenses have their root in Mayavad understanding. So therefore, he says here, anyone who accepts this wicked idea finds that his progress in devotional service is blocked. So if you don't have the right understanding of pure bhakti, then you may chant holy names, but you may not advance. There'll be a lot of blockage. The flow of the holy name will not be very proper. So there's a footnote here. The words souls who tend to think in material terms refer to the spirit souls bewildered by ignorance, think that they themselves are material in nature. So when it mentions here, those who think in terms of material nature, that means those who are bewildered by ignorance. And Prabhupada explains the last tier of ignorance is Mayavad. Materialist people are ignorant already, but those who are Mayavadis are grossly ignorant, completely grossly ignorant. So, if we have this kind of understanding, it is an offense which will block the progress of bhakti. The flow of the holy name will get blocked. Namera upayatva satyo upayetva. The holy name is both the means and the goal. So this has been explained many times before, that in the other process like karma, you may do karma kande activity, and gradually at some point, by the mercy of some devotee, you may attain faith in the holy name, faith in bhakti. But for devotees who are chanting the holy name is the means and the holy name is the end. Right? It is both the means and the end. Krishna Nama Haya Prabhu Purnananda Tattva Upeya Va Siddhi Bali Yahara Mahatva. Lord Krishna's holy name is perfect and blissful as Lord Krishna himself. Therefore, the holy name is itself the goal. Attaining the glory of the holy name is the attainment of perfection. So Lord Krishna's holy name, Krishna Nama Haya Prabhu Purnananda Tattva. Just like Lord Krishna is blissful, we all want to see Krishna, we all want to experience Krishna. The same Krishna is come in the form of the holy names. The problem now is we can't experience Krishna. Just like even when Krishna was there in this world, not everyone experienced Krishna. Not everyone's experienced. There were so many people who were seeing Krishna, but still they couldn't connect that Krishna is God. They considered Krishna to be material. Correct? So similarly, we are also experiencing the holy name, but still we are not experiencing it. Why? Because we are not developed that attitude of service. So therefore the scripture says, Atha Shri Krishna Namadi Nabaved Grayam Indriyai Sevan Muke hi Jivado Swayam Eva Swarudyata. Only when we have service attitude, then only Krishna will reveal himself. Duryodhana and others, they couldn't recognize Krishna. They were seeing Krishna, but still they thought Krishna is ordinary. They couldn't connect to Krishna. Similarly, the holy name, the pure devotees may be chanting, and they may find so much bliss in chanting. And for us, chanting the holy name might be miserable. Right? Chanting 16 down might be an austerity. Might be very difficult. The same holy name, Haridas Thakur is also chanting the same holy name in complete bliss. And we are also chanting the same holy name to finish our chanting. The holy name is the same, but the experience is different because we have not reached that stage. Right? But when we actually chant the holy names, so for us, chanting is now the means. So when we chant and when we actually reach perfection, then we will experience the blissful nature of the holy name. So it's not that the holy name becomes blissful later. The holy name is blissful, but right now we are not experiencing it. Just like Prabhupada gives an example now, one who has jaundice, he can't taste sweet things. Sugarcane juice will taste bitter. The problem is not with sugarcane juice. The problem is we have disease. So similarly, because we have disease, we are not able to appreciate the holy name. But when we keep chanting, so for people who have jaundice, sugarcane juice is like a medicine. When you keep having like a medicine, your disease gets cured, and then the same sugarcane juice will start to taste sweet. Sugarcane juice remains the same, before also, later also, but once your disease is cured, you will actually experience. So therefore, he says the holy name is itself the goal. Attaining the glory of the holy name is the attainment of perfection. Right? So it is the goal also, and it is the means also. It is the attainment of perfection. Upaya hayya avirbhuta dharatale upeya upaya aikya sarva shastra bale. Manifest on the surface of earth, the holy name is also the means to attain perfection. It is both the means and the goal. This is said in all scriptures. So scriptures mention that it is both the means and the goal. Adhikara bhede yini upaya swarupa tini e upaya anya bada aporupa. According to their different qualifications, different soul understand the holy name differently. So the same holy name, just like when Krishna entered into, when Krishna was called to Mathura, Akrura to Krishna to Mathura, and Krishna entered that wrestling arena of Kamsa. So the Bhagavatam explains that different people were seeing Krishna, but different people were seeing Krishna differently. So Kamsa saw Krishna as death. The wrestlers saw Krishna as thunderbolt, powerful. I mean, Krishna was not like well built with muscles, but the wrestlers saw Krishna as very strong. Right? Those who were elderly, they saw Krishna as their small child. Right? And those who were women, the ladies, they saw Krishna as the most handsome boy. Right? So, and the Gyanis who were there, they saw Krishna as Brahma Jyoti. So many people were seeing Krishna, but they were experiencing Krishna completely different. So here it says different souls according to their adhikar. So what is your consciousness? What is your qualification? Whether you have karma adhikar, bhakti adhikar, jnana adhikar, depending on that, they may have different understanding of the holy name. For some, the holy name is the means to attain perfection. For others, the holy name is a beautiful, wonderful goal. For some people, the holy name is the means to attain perfection. Just like all of us, we are doing Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. So for all of us, holy name is the means. By chanting the holy name, we are going to get purified and progress. But for those who are already on the stage of perfection, for them, the holy name is the most wonderful thing. So here he writes a footnote. Here, different qualification means that as long as the soul is not attracted to spiritual life, the soul will consider the chanting of the holy name as means to an end. Thus, he engages in blissful activities, spiritual activities, as a means to attain a goal. So, those who are still not attracted to spiritual life, those who have not developed that spontaneous attraction, for such devotees, the holy name is the means to attain a particular goal. So then he continues the next section. Shubha karma gunopaya nama mukhya paya. Material pious deeds So we will do few more shlokas and then we'll stop. There are a lot of verses still left. Material pious deeds are the secondary way to attain perfection. The holy name is the primary way. So he's stressing the same point again. So pious deeds are the secondary way, holy name is the primary way. Ateva upaya dvivida guna dhama gaunopaya shubha karma mukyopaya nama. The glorious ways to attain perfection are of two kinds. Material pious deeds are the secondary way and the holy name is the primary way. So there are two ways to attain perfection. Punya karya, punya karma, and then holy name, Harinama. There's a footnote here. Chanting the holy name is the primary means and performance of pious deeds is secondary. Those who know the truth say that the chanting of the holy name is better than performing pious deeds. So those who know the truth, they will say chanting the holy name is better. So we will read one more section and then we will stop. The holy name is beyond the touch of material senses. So just like I explained this shloka, that the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, all these things cannot be understood with our material senses. We cannot comprehend Krishna because Krishna is beyond our material senses. So he continues, Ateva Shastre Yata Anya Shubha Karma Nama Saha Nahe Sarva Shastra Marma. In the scriptures, it is said that material pious deeds are not equal to the holy name. That truth is the heart of all scriptures. The scriptures explain very clearly. So this is just not Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Haridas Thakur explaining. This is the essence of scriptures that the holy name cannot be compared to material pious deeds. The comparison is absolutely not there. Sarala Hridaye Yade Krishna Nama Gaye Atindriya Sukha Ashi Chitte Ke Nachai. Anyone who chants with a sincere heart the holy name of Lord Krishna finds spiritual happiness. Happiness beyond the touch of material senses dances within his heart. Sarala Hridaya. So those who chant with simple heart, with simple faith, or Prabhupada calls here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions here, sincere heart. A simple heart, sincere heart. Such a person will find happiness which is beyond the material senses, or completely, altogether a different level of happiness. Se Sukha Krishna Naam Swabhava Tatpar Atmarati Atma Krida Nahi Yarapar. That spiritual happiness is part of Lord Krishna's holy names, part of the holy names nature. The unsurpassable joy of the Lord and his pastimes enters the heart and make it soar with sublime delight. So anyone who follows this path of chanting the holy names, he will actually experience spiritual bliss. And the others who follow jnana and karma, they may experience some kind of bliss, but it may not be on this level. So the fastest way to experience the highest bliss is by chanting the holy name, right? So therefore, in the next section, he explains the bliss of even impersonal Jyoti, Brahma Jyoti, is not compared to the bliss of chanting. The bliss that devotees experience is far greater than even the bliss of merging into Brahma Jyoti. So we will stop here for today. We will continue this, whatever is remaining, the next time. Is there any questions, any comments? It was a little technical, but I think when we do it the next time, we'll do like a recap of what we did and things will get a little better. But till what we discussed, anyone has any questions, any comments? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So we are definitely highly fortunate. So what happens is, generally, once your faith is invested in something now, very difficult to change faith. So someone who has faith in Jnana Kand, someone who has faith in the Mayavad line, very difficult for him to change his faith into bhakti. It's not that it's impossible, but it's very difficult. So somehow, definitely, we are very fortunate that we have some sort of faith in the holy name, some sort of faith in pure devotional service. So it's definitely a big fortune. Right? So the more we read Harinam Chintamani, the more whatever we understand from the book properly or not. As Prabhuji said, we will understand one thing. We will understand that we are on the right path. Right? We are actually very fortunate. The chanting of the holy name, we may consider it to be very, very simple. Just chant Hare Krishna, looks very, very simple. But actually, it's a very, very advanced level of science. It's actually a deep science. So therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has very systematically explained in this book the science of chanting. So when we read this book very properly, and it may be a little difficult, the concepts may be a little difficult to understand, but then when we invest our intelligence and try to understand, then our faith in chanting will increase and our experience of chanting also will increase, right? Otherwise, chanting will be on a little sentimental level. But when we chant with proper knowledge of the science of chanting, then the chanting actually becomes very solid and very substantial. Anything else?
The conclusion is that there is no other way out other than the chanting of the holy name
Yeah,
or attaining the lotus feet of the Lord.
correct. Yeah,
And Guruji said about the so-called material activity, pious material activity. They can be also spiritualized. Like for example, Arjuna was fighting war. If he has to fight the war for himself, it would have been a material activity. But he fought for Krishna wishes. So it became a spiritual activity. So other than all these activities like Homa, this and that,
yeah, yeah, correct,
Dana and all those things,
correct.
they can be also spiritualized.
Yeah,
But-
definitely.
But at the same time, by doing that, we'll be wasting time.
Yeah. So basically, see, the understanding is that see, when devotees do certain activities, right, the devotees are not doing on a material level. Just like I was reading today the life of Raghunath Das Goswami. See, Raghunath Das Goswami was a great renunciate, Vairagi. So actually, Vairagya is not primary to bhakti. It is not bhakti. Because even the Gyanis are doing Vairagya. They also go to Himalayas, they also stay in ice, they also do a lot of austerities. So just doing austerity is not bhakti. But the scriptures explain Raghunath Das Goswami's austerity. Why he was performing intense austerity? He would sleep just 2 hours a day. He would eat very little. He would beg. Very intense austere life. Why he was doing this? All his austerities was only to give pleasure to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only that Lord Chaitanya should be pleased with me. That was his only reason for doing austerity. He was not doing austerity to gain name, fame. He was not doing austerity to, you know, get rid of sins or anything of that sort. All his austerities, austerity generally is like a pious activity, but his austerity is not, doesn't come under the category of pious activity. It's pure devotional service only, because his focus was only Krishna. He didn't have anything. So here, one of the pious activities mentioned is Tirth Yatra. So here also Tirth Yatra, and devotees, we also go for Yatra. So is our Yatra pious activity or spiritual? Our Yatra is spiritual. Because here Tirth Yatra means people go to Tirth Yatra, take bath in Ganga so that they can get rid of sins. We don't go for that. We don't go to Ganga, we don't go to Vrindavan to get rid of sins. That's not our agenda only. We go there to please Krishna, to give pleasure to Srimati Radharani, to pray for bhakti. We go there for that. We don't, no devotees actually go there and even ask freedom from sins, freedom from all these reactions. That's not there in our prayer list only. We go there just for the pleasure of the Lord. So our Tirth Yatra doesn't come under Punya Karya. It is completely spiritual. Similarly, all the other aspects also. So when you offer it to Krishna, do it for the pleasure of Krishna, everything is spiritual. There is no material. It's not in the category of Sattva Guna. It is Shuddha Sattva only. Everything is completely spiritual.
Everything can be
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Everything can be spiritualized.
we are at the stage of Africa. So that chanting doesn't become ritualized. The end, the means and the end is same. But that Vishnu is not there.
Just today morning, I was speaking to one devotee. So he was explaining that, Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. But that and, there is a lot of meaning to what that and is. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy, and hey. So and ka, there are a lot of understandings of that word and, right? And means patience, tolerance. You have to go through all those phases. Struggle, part of the process. Okay. So we'll end for today. Uh, so once again, a special thanks to Sham Siddhatu and his family for inviting us over. So last Friday हमारा कहाँ अल्ट्राडोजा में प्रोग्राम था. What we had there? हाँ हाँ हमारा मीटिंग था जन्माष्टमी का. So there I told Prabhuji that next Friday we will do in your place. Immediately he agreed. Right. So very happy to be here. Wonderful house, wonderful family. So we hope that house is spacious. So we hope that we can do more satsangs here. We can call more people from this colony, that colony. It is like a very prominent place in Panjam. We can try to do preaching, here in this area. And tomorrow is Nirjal Ekadashi. So hopefully all of you all are planning to chant more rounds. Many of you all are planning for Nirjal Ekadashi without water. So let's aim for it. So one of the most important principle of Nirjal Ekadashi is the day before sleep early. Okay, sleep early and start early so that you can do more. So let's call it the day. It is end today. We can Aarti is there. We'll do Aarti, Prasad, go home and sleep early so that your day tomorrow can start early. ठीक है? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.